Hey, I'm Bryce.
And I'm Maddie, and we have conversations with professional closers in northern Utah.
On today's episode, we get the opportunity to chat with Stacey Christopherson. With over 25 years of real estate experience, Stacey created a dominant team who is consistently one of the top performing large teams in Coldwell Banker Realty, Utah.
Welcome to the closing table.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the closing table.
For sure. Happy to be here. Very cool.
Well, it's our second episode, so just kicking us off in the right direction.
Yeah, honored to be here, being asked to be here. Super
Thank you.
nice. Thanks.
Your reputation is amazing.
Thank you.
Especially in real estate. You've done really well, which is really cool. So
Thank you.
we're going to start off with a little game.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a mix. It's a mix between The Price is Right
Okay.
and Over Under.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to talk to you about some listings,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to give you a number what it's listed at.
Okay.
And you tell me if it's over or under or exactly on.
Okay.
Deal?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll give you as much specs as you need. We're focusing on Syracuse.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start off with this one. It is a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,960 square foot. This looks like a twin home.
Okay.
Twin home. It's been on active for 85 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Rambler Ranch twin, built in 1990, and it looks like there's been minor updates.
Okay.
What more would you like to know? 4-bed, 3-bath.
How big's the
twin home.
garage?
It is a 2-car garage.
And the lot size?
The lot, I like that. The lot size is 0.01.
Okay.
So it's
No
very,
yard.
No yard.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
yard.
It is the house.
You're not
It-
going outside.
Yes.
No barbecues.
Okay.
let's
Built in
see.
1990, 2,900 square feet.
1999.
Unfinished
1990.
basement.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of weird for 19.
It is. That's a long time to not finish.
That's
the
a
basement.
project
Yeah.
that never
Yeah.
got finished.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you need more?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Tell
I'm going to tell you a price. You tell me over, under, exact. Okay.
Can you give me like a quadrant in Syracuse, like how far west
Oh.
it is?
So location's important, huh? So it's right on the right next to 2000 West in
Okay.
Syracuse.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. The price,
Mm-hmm.
$425,900.
That is under.
That's under.
So it's
It
more
would
than
be
that.
more.
Yep.
It is.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Nice work.
work.
Well done. Well done. It's listed at 499.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done. That was
It's the square footage.
She knows her stuff, Bryce.
I was gonna ask, like, so that leads me to this. You are an amazing listing agent. Like, you have done so much with listings, buyer too, but listings, you are excellent, as we just saw. What would be the biggest advice, the number one advice you'd give to somebody that's looking to sell with you? Like, what's the first thing you say, okay, this is what we've got to have from you?
Are you talking like as far as condition of the home or just?
Yeah, condition of the home, like, do you leave it occupied? Do you, like, what's the goal you're getting out of that first meeting?
I think the very first meeting is just managing expectations because prices, I mean, from last year to this year are so vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's managing expectations, days on market. 85 days on market is a long time.
Right now, yeah.
Right now, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So managing that, and because it's not the quick sale anymore.
Yeah.
And then price, what do you think it's worth? What does the market say it's worth? And then where do we meet? And what's our game plan 2 weeks from now, a month from now, if we're still on the market?
Cool.
Like, what's your bottom line?
So expectations are huge.
For sure.
Because that sounds
Yeah.
the first thing I heard out of that is expectations.
Yep.
Like, you manage their expectations really well.
100%.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
All right.
Cool.
One more. Or
'Kay.
2 more. Or however many you want to do. Okay. We're going to go. This one's going to blow your mind. Glen Eagle Golf Course
'Kay.
area.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My neighborhood.
In case you want to find Bryce
Right.
after this.
Yeah, right there.
Start
Exactly.
throwing golf balls.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a 4-bed, 3-bathroom, never been updated, built in 1997, been on the market for 173 days. It's lowered its price.
Not even a thing right now.
No, it's lowered the price $200,000 already.
Okay.
Never, yeah. So it sits on almost a half-acre lot.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, sorry, 0.3. I apologize.
Okay.
It backs the golf course.
Yep.
Hole 2. Oh, excuse me. Oh.
You're hydrated.
No kidding. What the crap was that? Gosh dang. So it backs hole 2
Okay.
on Glen Eagle Golf Course.
Okay.
It is 4,642 square feet.
Okay.
4-bed, 3-bath. It is fully done. It's
Mm-hmm.
there's no, and 4-bed, 3-bath, 4,600 square feet.
Okay.
What other?
How many garages?
It is a 3-car garage. The 3rd car garage is height. It does have the
Mhm.
extra height on it.
Fully finished, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 699.
And they've already reduced 200.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably low.
It is.
Oh my gosh. 2
You're
for
right.
2.
You were right.
Because people are crazy.
799.
Yeah.
799.
I was going to say they probably started at $1 million.
They did.
And yeah,
Hmm.
they're overpriced still probably by about 200.
Wow.
It's ridiculous,
Mhm.
right?
With no updates.
Don't tell me that.
No, I'm
My
sorry.
house is fully updated, so I'll take
Maybe
some of that.
100.
Okay.
Because they're at $699.
They're at
Seven.
$799.
Oh boy.
So that, I mean, they're mid 500s to 6 is probably pretty.
I would say I
aggressive.
was going to say like 6, and that's still probably aggressive just
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we jump into who the C4 team is and who Stacey is?
Well, sure.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I love it. I love it.
Okay, well, we want to know where you're from and how you got into real estate and what made you form a team.
Yeah, so very long road to get to the team. Grew up in Colorado, met my husband there, and when we got married, he was in the Air Force. He
Oh,
did 20 years active
Thank
duty.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
for sure.
My goodness. That's
Um,
awesome.
He was doing investment properties back then.
Mm.
And it's been a long time. May will be, I think we're 29 years in May.
Wow,
Congratulations.
that's awesome.
We got married when we were 12.
I was going to say 8.
Yeah.
but whatever.
No. Anyways, so he was very, he was a fast burner in the Air Force, like lots of early promotions and stuff.
Cool.
Super, super smart guy. So he has all these investment properties in Colorado where I grew up, went to college, and then that's where I met him. He was there for 2 years. So we were going to get married, which we did. We were going to get married though, and then he got chosen to go to a remote assignment in Korea for a year.
Whoa.
So we had to hurry up and get married. And then he left for the year to go to Korea. And I stayed in Colorado, and he said, "Here, run this business."
Wow.
And I'm like, huh, okay then. And then of course the Air Force took us all over the place. We've
Yeah.
been all over the world, the country. And everywhere we went, we bought a house, lived in it. So the Air Force moved us every 2 years
Right.
because of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then while we were there, we would buy a house, live in it, rent it, buy another house, move again, and then move again.
Wow.
Right? So, but we accumulated a huge real estate investment portfolio over the years. And so I've been in real estate now for 30 years just because of
With that, yeah.
of our own stuff.
Exactly.
And then he came to Hill 2006, retired in 2008, and we decided to stay in Utah. And that's when I went, finally. So I started with Coldwell in 2007,
Mm-hmm.
been with them ever since.
Wow.
And full-time all this time.
Mhm.
Started, like the crash, the like 2008
Yeah.
crazy market.
Yeah.
But again, and to this day, probably 70, 80% of my clients are military. So it doesn't matter what the market's doing, they
Right.
have to come and they have to go.
Right.
Like it's just, it doesn't matter. And so my military clients have been very, very, very good to me. And
awesome.
I love helping them. So anyways, 2018 rolls around and I just saw a need for those agents who'd been in the business 2 to 3 years, selling a few houses, but maybe just needed a mentor. Maybe needed, because there's good agents out there and then there's some that aren't. And I just think that they've lacked a mentor.
Right.
Because you get out of school and they go, hey, go sell houses.
Right.
You don't know how to sell a house.
No kidding.
You literally can calculate an acre,
Yeah.
when you pass. But so I just kind of
think
saw
that's
this
funny.
need and there, which you never use, right? It's
That's
like
so funny.
math.
Right.
You never need
Well,
math.
I went to Stringham, so in 2005.
Yeah, okay.
So I graduated in 2005 from real estate school,
Yeah,
and I didn't even know that.
I know, right? Well, if you asked me
come a
today,
long
I wouldn't
way.
know either. I have no idea.
I'm just teasing.
But I just kind of saw this need. And so we've gone from, having 6 people on the team to 5, and now we're at 4. And but it's, I've had my few, Liz has been with me since day one. And I don't know, it's just this amazing group of currently gals who we have just great accountability with each other.
Yeah.
And we go to each other first with questions, and if we can't figure it out, we'll go to the next person up.
Cool.
But it's just an accountability, a support system, answer questions. So I really started the team because I wanted to help agents do better.
Yeah.
And mine is structured like no other team, I think, in Coldwell Banker. And I didn't make a team to make a ton of money. I did it more to make better agents.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's not heard of right now.
No. And I hear how some of the teams are structured and stuff, and I'm not anywhere. I'm not here I didn't do the team to like get rich.
Right.
I really did it. And it was kind of selfish too, because I was busy and I thought, well, if I can't do it or I want to travel or whatever, I have a team.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about C4 is if you hire one of us, you really have all 4 of us.
Right.
is
Because
cool.
we back each other up for all kinds of stuff.
That's
so.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
And that was 2018 is when you started the team?
Yeah.
Okay. And has some come and gone? Or is it
Liz has been the only one who's stayed since 2018.
2018? Okay. All right.
Yeah, but they've come and gone for family, for other reasons.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What would you say like your biggest asset is to an agent that comes aboard your team? Like give me a pitch. Like why would I join C4 as an agent?
well, if you're getting into real estate to make money, what I can offer you is a higher split to be total, like just to lay it on the line because of our production. Because we sell enough houses and I've been with Coldwell long enough, I have an amazing split to offer a brand new agent who would never get that split.
Cool.
So if you're getting into real estate to make money, that's one reason to join C4. But really the other one is the mentorship.
Right.
Cool.
Again, you're a brand new agent, you don't even know how to write a contract.
Right.
And myself or anyone on the team would sit down with you, help you get that contract written, go to the appointment with you.
Yeah.
And make sure that the seller understands, I try to tell the brand new agents, don't tell them you're brand new because you've got all of us.
Well,
Yep.
absolutely.
Lean on
Yeah.
your team.
But, in some cases it's obvious,
Right.
but we go with them to appointments, do the contract. So it's really the mentorship, the support, I think, and then accountability because it's super easy to do nothing and wonder why you're not selling any houses.
Absolutely. 'Cause it's your own business.
It
right?
is. Yeah.
No one's telling you where to be and what to do. And
Nope.
yeah, if you don't have accountability or drive, you might be in a little bit of trouble in real
Yes.
estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that helps.
And we set goals every, January, we sit down as a team and say out loud, and I write it down and I email it out to everybody and go, okay, let's at the end of the year, let's see how we did.
I
That's
love that.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it is accountability, and I think that's just super important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With agents having, accountability issues and trying to figure out how to grow in this industry and everything, just to look at a few stats, the National Association of Realtors says that 4.4 transactions are done a year by experienced agents. So that's an agent that's been in the industry for 5 years or more. In Utah, it's 5 transactions per year. You're personally at 26 transactions a
Holy
year,
cow.
and your entire team is at 62.
Mhm.
That is unreal. Like, you're absolutely dominating. How did you do that?
That's incredible.
Honestly, I think it's the relationships,
Mhm.
because I have clients that I've invited to every client event, sent stuff, done everything, and I don't hear from them literally for years. And then
Mhm.
they call me, go, hey, we're ready to sell. I'm like, you are out there. Like, I think it's the relationships and the experience, the first experience you have with them that carries you years down the road, where they
Mhm.
go, that's who we want to help us buy or sell again, or
Right.
um, and then keeping in touch with them too, obviously. So we try really hard to do quarterly SOI events, whether
Cool.
people come or not. It's out there. We invite every single person on our SOI.
Mm-hmm.
I saw your pies. Was
Oh
that
my gosh, that's the absolute best one
was
ever.
that at Costco or Sam's Club?
We got them at Costco.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was like pallets of pies.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's so fun. Our clients loved the pies, because we do it right before, like 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it's the huge pumpkin pies and apple pies. And we just text and say, what kind of pie do you want? And come pick it up.
It's so funny to see the
Yeah.
pictures of it, because everyone around you is like, what is
Yeah.
happening?
I know, we walk
All
out
the-
and they're like, where's the party?
Yeah, it's like, my goodness, all these
Yeah.
happy women,
Yeah.
all the probably the husbands are out there like, oh my gosh, that's so many pies.
Yeah.
But no,
No, I think we handed out this year, I think we handed out like 150 pies or
Wow.
something.
man,
That's the best one. We love that one.
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
you could tell you guys were just smiling, and all the
Yeah.
pictures, and it was really cool to see.
It's way fun.
I stalked you a little bit on
Yeah.
social media. I hope that's okay.
No, that's great. Yeah.
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 Gotta do your research.
I was very impressed.
Yeah,
Very
thanks.
impressed.
Yeah, that's a good one. We
you-
like that one.
I mean, obviously numbers speak for themselves.
Mhm.
But the fact that everything you've said today so far has been about relationships, whether it be
Yeah.
with your agents or your clients, that's absolutely massive. Besides the pies and things like that, when you're meeting with a buyer, how do you build that relationship very quickly? What would be the best way to build it very quickly? If it's not necessarily, it's probably going to be a referral, right? So not like a cold call, but going, and what are you saying to the buyer that gets them to be comfort?
I think the biggest thing is I don't say anything. I ask the questions,
Mhm.
right?
That's
So,
awesome.
and it's so interesting. I probably in 22 sold, I don't know, 6 houses to military folks sight unseen.
Wow.
Oh,
Like these last clients we just closed in December, I think we talked on the phone once or twice. The rest was all text because they were in Japan.
okay. We're gonna reverse. We're gonna go back. You're gonna
Okay.
say that again,
Okay.
because that's insane. And
What'd I
and
say?
you did how many sight unseen?
Oh, yeah.
So say that again and make sure you get this.
Okay. Are you
Because
listening?
okay, well, and I'm gonna tell you why that's so impressive to me. So, but tell me, yeah. So say that again.
Okay. So in 2022, I believe, if I remember right, I sold 6 houses sight unseen to military members because they were not here,
They're out of the country.
either out of the country or out of the state, and just couldn't get here.
I can't think of a more trusting thing to do.
Yeah.
To just really say, hey, Stacey, this is on you. I need your help. I can't really be there. Go help me buy $500,000 worth of property or more.
And that's the biggest thing. I'm like, you guys, I understand how stressful this is. In one case, the husband was here and the wife was here, different states, because he's at training and she's with the kids and I'm here. And so what I promise them is whatever house they want to see, I go and I'll either FaceTime them through it and they can ask questions, or I do a YouTube video
Cool.
and I talk and I smell and I open cabinets and the floor's crooked and I show them, or pick up the little rug in the kitchen that's hiding the floor that's cracked,
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
Things that you would do when they were in person, I kind of just imagine they're with me and just go, here, I would, and then of course you can't say anything in the house anymore because everyone has cameras.
Yeah.
So I go out to the car and I'm like, you guys, I'm not letting you buy this house, and here's why. But it's a huge amount of trust that they have in me to do that. And it's a little bit stressful for me.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because then they get here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope they like this
Yeah,
house.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but I do a video going into the neighborhood and the whole, so they can see the houses that are
Everything.
around the house. And That's
I-
so cool.
That blows my mind, honestly. Like I'm in my head, I'm trying to think of somebody that I would trust enough to do that.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a little power hungry anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like it's very, very impressive.
And I think having been there, done that too, right? So we moved every 2 years for 16 years
Yeah.
or whatever. I understand that they want to do it. I understand the lingo, like they want to do a door-to-door move. Well, here's when you're coming, here's when we need to start looking, here's when we need to be under contract.
Yeah.
So the timelines are super important. And then it is referral based. I'm on a Facebook group just for fighter pilot spouses. So you can be like a current one or a old one like me, right? But I don't know how many, someone will say, hey, we're moving to Utah. I don't know how many of my clients chime in and go,
Jump in.
you have to use
Yeah.
Stacey. Like, here's what she did for us. I've probably had, 6 or 7, 10 chime in on one post to just, so for me, that's huge. That's awesome for me.
I can honestly say that I don't know if I've ever had that. Like
Yeah.
where people like jump in and like say, hey, Bryce is awesome. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty amazing.
I'll do it next
Yeah,
time.
do you-
Yeah.
Thank you. No,
You make a post and I'll put your name in there.
I appreciate it.
Well, we like to play a
hilarious.
fun little game called Cherry and Pit.
Okay.
We used to play it at our dinner table with our family. So cherry is like the best part of your day, the pit's the worst part. And then we're gonna add in the funniest memory too.
Okay.
So what's your cherry from real estate? What's your pit and funniest memory?
Oh gosh. I mean, I just think back to 22. This is a long story, so I'm going to tell it.
'Kay.
So I meet these clients call, I think maybe through Zillow, right? I answer my phone. We're talking. She's like, hey, this is what we're looking for. Older couple. So I meet with them. We do the whole phone thing. They're going to be in town. I meet with them. We find them a house that they love. And then she goes, well, we have something to tell you, right? This is where the bottom drops out.
Yep.
But this is still my cherry story. This is still the good story.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I'm like, here come the bottom's going to drop out. Well, they had just purchased a townhouse very close to where we were looking, sight unseen with a different agent, and they got here and 100% hated it. So
Oh,
they're like, we need to sell this to buy what we really want, but we want you to help us. I'm like, great. So this was in like June, July.
okay.
So the market was just starting to shift.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's turn around, sell it for what you bought it for, or pretty close, because we can,
Yeah.
and then find you what you guys want. They're
Yeah.
like, great. I ran comps on the place that they purchased, and in no uncertain terms were they completely taken advantage of. They paid 80 grand over what they should have had anyone run comps. And it was a terrible, they put down a huge amount of money, which was their savings, and came in, the listing agent overpriced it. The buyer's agent didn't do anything to protect them. And the lender didn't do anything either. So I don't know who's watching, but this is what I know.
Yeah.
So I break the news to
The
him.
world is watching.
So I break the news to him. You guys were very much taken advantage of, and here's why. Let's see what we can do to sell it. So we price it as high. I mean, but we're still 80 under what they purchased it for
Right.
a month later. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
In the meantime, they're moving from Arizona, so they decide instead of just coming here part-time, they want to live here full-time. So they sell their big Arizona house, and we find them a perfect house in Pleasant View,
Cool.
which they purchased with their Arizona house, but then we still have this townhouse that they're making a mortgage payment on now.
Yeah.
And so we end up finally closing on that in December, but they lost $150,000 on
Wow.
that property just because they weren't
Brutal.
here. They trusted the agent. And, so it is hard trying to, how do people trust me and not someone else?
Right.
Or someone else that, it's hard.
It blows my mind when people are like, I'm gonna sell my house myself. It's a 6-figure deal you're dealing
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even 7 figures.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know attorneys that are good enough to do that kind
I
of
know.
deals. You know, it's and then to have an agent that has a fiduciary responsibility not meet it,
Not even close.
very very disappointing.
Not even close. So what I took my role to be was to restore their faith in not only real estate agents,
Right.
but just kind of humanity at that point,
Yeah, no kidding.
and really find them the house that they love. And my husband and I had dinner with them last night, and they are
Aw.
absolutely thrilled. Like they love their house. They're like, we've lived in this many houses, and this is by far the best house we've ever lived
Oh
in.
my gosh.
I was like, oh, thank you. And we got the townhouse sold, but they lost it
Yeah,
a lot.
but it's not, you got a friendship out of it.
Oh, for sure.
Like to go
Yeah,
to dinner.
they're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Most people close on a deal and you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
And that's a reality.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that's cool that
Yeah. So that's my
Good to do.
cherry. I think I
they're
restored
in
their
their-
faith, and
Yeah.
yeah, and they're in their 70s, you know, so it's just the two of them here, but they were like, we're going to Utah. We just want to be in Utah. They don't have family here. They just wanted to be here. So
okay.
yeah, they're here.
Awesome.
That's,
Yeah. So that's a good, I love that story.
That's
That
a
is
great
cool.
It's a
one.
good story.
That is cool.
It-
It's
it-
not that long either. just so you
Okay,
know.
all right. I left out a lot of details because I don't want to like say anything, but
No,
That's
that's
awesome.
That's a cool story.
yeah, it was a good story.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a funniest memory?
I really, I don't know. I can't think of like a funniest. I have a lot of fun with my clients. Like
Mhm.
they know, especially like if they watch my YouTube videos and stuff, I am that person on the
Yeah.
YouTube video. You know,
Yeah.
I try to be super authentic and just
Cool.
be me.
That's awesome because it's so easy to not. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look on social media, so many people are putting on a completely different person.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that you're
I
so
do
real
use a
with them.
filter on my Instagram
Oh,
sometimes,
that's
but
okay.
Influencers are crap. Don't listen to them.
No, so I can't really like nothing super funny sticks out, but I
What-
feel like we have a lot of fun.
Okay, so
Right.
tell me your sense of humor type. Like, are you dry? Are you sarcastic?
I'm very sarcastic.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't you think? I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a smart ass.
I like it. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But I'm very honest.
Mhm.
So, and especially like with my clients that I'm doing videos and they're not even here, I'm like, you guys, this place smells like trash. Or, you know, this cabinet's going to, once I get in the car, right, I can't say all that stuff, but I'll quickly text them and go, here's my 2 cents.
Mhm.
Of course.
I would never let your family live here. Let's keep looking.
Yeah.
And
What-
they appreciate that.
No kidding. You're not
mean,
looking at a paycheck. You're looking
no.
at what's best for your clients.
Yeah. And because most of them are military too, they need to resale
Yeah.
in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So schools and, you know, all that stuff's super important.
Matters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Veterans deserve a lot.
They do.
What would you say your thoughts are about the way veterans are looked at in terms of buying homes? When a seller gets an offer from a VA loan, they kind of have a negative to it. Why? What's
Are we in a
behind that?
seller's market or a buyer's market?
Let's go right now. Let's say you tell me, what is
Okay.
right now? Is right now a buyer's market or a seller's market?
I think it's still like if you have like your little spectrum, right? Sellers and buyers, I think we're just slightly here in the seller's market still, just because prices are still high.
Okay.
But buyers can now have all their contingencies back in place, which in 21, that's
Was
so.
Unheard of.
To answer your question, you know, when it was a 100% a seller's market,
Mhm.
none of my VA buyers could take advantage of their VA loan because there were 20 offers that were conventional or cash or had this huge down payment. Well, you know, there's a handful of military members that have a huge down payment for a house, but are they really going to take all of their money and put it down
Right.
towards this house
Yeah.
that they're probably overpaying for in a seller's market?
Mhm.
So it was rough. It was really hard in the seller's market. I had military buyers who had parents gifted them all of the cash so they could pay for cash, and then they refinanced and paid their parents back.
Cool. Yeah. Smart.
But that's how they got the house.
Yeah.
I had some, you know, go conventional because they had a down payment, maybe have some PMI or something in there if they
Mhm.
didn't
Yeah.
have it all. But it really depends. Like if the seller happens to be a veteran, which in Davis County for sure, a lot of
A
them are,
lot. Yeah.
Mhm.
they appreciate a VA buyer.
Yeah. The discrimination to me is
Yeah.
very evident.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we've actually, some of my previous company, we actually went to the state and we went in front of some lawmakers about it.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm very passionate about that.
Well, in a seller's market too, it's just it gets greedy. Like
Oh
people
my
are
gosh,
just
so greedy.
it's
Yeah.
tough, but
Yeah, and I think in a seller's market, like there's discrimination to all kinds of people, not necessarily the military.
Of
It's just who
course.
has the most money,
yeah.
like you said, and who's going to be able to perform.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that at the end of the day, if you have a VA buyer, you have to know how to write a really strong offer.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that include for these VA, and I'm very upfront with them about that too. This is a great loan program, 0 down. But if you want to make a strong offer, here's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of just go down the list for them so they know.
Cool.
And then we can manage that.
Right.
Mhm.
Once again, expectations.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I get it.
Well, to finish out the cherry and pit, do you have a pit?
I
of your
do
career?
have a pit.
Oh.
I mean, it ended up, well, no, it was a pit. So no, it closed, but I don't even remember how I got these clients. I think they found me, this has been probably 10 years ago, maybe.
Mhm.
Older lady living in a patio home in Washington Terrace. Her son contacted me. She wants to sell her place. What wasn't communicated to me was that she really didn't want to move for like 3 or 4 months. Like, we want to sell, but maybe not yet. But that wasn't communicated, right? So we talked about price. I got it listed. I got an offer, got it under contract. And then I find out she doesn't want to really move. Right. So it was really hard. This was a great lesson for me just in humility, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I did what you asked me to do. I
Right.
did my job.
Mm-hmm.
And at the closing table, I have never had anyone so mad. She was so mad. Like, she wouldn't even make eye contact with me.
That is crazy.
At the time, the title guy I was using, he went to shake her hand and she basically like,
What?
I mean, it was so bad. I finally just left because I'm at every closing.
So you started and closed in 24 hours.
No,
Of
so
course not. Like
No,
what
yeah.
the? What on
here's
earth?
me. I'm like, no. But yeah, no, I know. Yeah,
Holy cow.
and then I guess the kicker for it was this grouchy mom was going to go live with this son, and I'm like, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was so mad.
Huh.
And that I was devastated because I was like, I did what you asked and you're
Right.
so mad.
Yeah.
But I just think that there was, I didn't ask enough questions and they didn't maybe know to tell me, they didn't maybe understand the timeline. So that was probably my fault for not going, okay, if we do this now, you have like 30 days,
Mhm.
where maybe I just assumed that they would know
You
that.
would know
Right.
that, yeah.
So that was, it was on me. It was a great lesson for me though, that just, you can't please everybody.
No.
Yep.
Even though if you do what they ask, they still might not be happy. So
That logic just doesn't make any sense to me. That whole situation, like I'm just lost. It's like how?
I know.
How?
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
one of those that you have to be like, all right, I'll control what I can.
Yeah.
This
Which is leave the room.
Yeah.
But-
I might have cried.
But once again,
That's all right.
reoccurring theme. It's you caring about your clients, and the
Yeah.
fact that they were disappointed or upset with you affected you to a point that it is the pit of your real estate career.
It is. I'll never forget that. Like, I can just feel that closing room.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. When
that-
I try not to think about it. But
That, so let me just summarize here. So your cherry is you built a relationship even though they lost $150,000. Your pit is somebody that sold their house, probably made $150,000. And yet, I mean, that just goes to show it's relationship, not money.
Yeah.
For you,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I think that doesn't happen anymore.
Mhm.
I think very few agents are that way.
I think it's the more experienced agents, just because we've been through all these different cycles.
Yeah.
Right.
The newer agents think real estate's easy and they think it's good money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's neither of those things
Mhm.
sometimes.
Bigger than that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So cool.
Yeah.
So
Well, what
cool.
does keep you going through the tough times when you have a pit or even the changing markets?
Or even just right now.
There's this huge shift right now where prices are still high, interest rates are higher than what people want, but they're normal. They're totally normal, right? 5 to 6% is a
Mhm.
great interest rate.
Right. Wait, the 2% isn't normal?
No, it's totally not normal. I think there's just a shift right now, and people have to go, okay, eggs are $10 a dozen. I mean, with all the memes right now, right?
Yep.
The egg, I'm just like, what's happening with eggs?
It is
It's
crazy.
a real thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I don't know. For me, when I'm slow, I quietly die inside. Um, but it always rallies for me.
Mhm.
It always has. What I really try to do is embrace the quiet times,
Right.
go on a vacation or have free time with my husband
Mhm.
or, whatever. And it's very hard for me to, in a slow time to stop and be okay with it. But my clients always rally.
Yeah.
It just always has.
Yeah.
Maybe this year will be the first year it doesn't, and that's okay too. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Again, this year I'm just really focusing on market share, and I'm gonna, check out my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And
What is your YouTube channel?
living in Northern Utah.
Living in Northern Utah.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We're gonna amp that up like 1 February. Start doing those every Monday.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
And
Is it going to be like tips? Is it going to be what are you thinking it's going to be around?
my hope is that it's informational.
Cool.
What things to avoid as a buyer.
Cool.
What are lenders looking for?
Mhm.
And then hopefully get into some of the, I don't want to get into the videos where I talk about what's going to happen in the market because I can't talk intelligently about it for 10 minutes and I don't want to broach a topic that I'm not super smart at because then it's just not worth
no
it.
one knows.
Well,
My gosh, everyone thinks that they know, and they don't
I
know.
definitely don't know, and it would sound like it. So I can't even fake it. A lot of people can fake it, for 10, 12 minutes or whatever, talk about it. But yeah, so for me, when it's slow, what I decide to do is how am I going to push myself to get more clients?
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
have the time to put the energy into it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're ready for 2023. You
Yeah.
make a business plan in January. What does that whole process look like? How do you hold yourself accountable to achieve all these goals and content creation? How do you manage that?
Yeah, and that's kind of a learning curve for me too, right? So we all set our goals on the team. And we are all very goal driven,
Mhm.
which is why we do so well, I think, together. So it's just looking at that number and going, I'm short right now. Like I need to step up my game so I can meet that goal. And I think we do that for each other. Again, we're all planning like our February client event, and then we've got them planned out for the rest of the year.
Do you mind me
That's
asking what the February what
Yeah,
it
we're
is?
doing the day before the Super Bowl. So what's that?
What?
The 11th?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl's the 12th.
Yes.
Yeah, so the 11th, we're just gonna have a party at our office and have
Nice.
like drawings every 15 minutes and coloring contests for kids and just have food and just have people come like for a couple hours and get face to face with them.
That's
I
awesome.
need to buy a house really quick so I can be part of that.
I'll invite you anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, woo!
I believe it or not, I'm the life of the party.
Oh, I have no doubt, Bryce.
Oh,
You guys are totally invited.
Yes.
I embarrass myself way too much. Oh my gosh. It's
Do you
so
have a
bad.
Super Bowl prediction? Who's going? Who's gonna win?
No, because, well, I mean, really, the Packers and Lions, the Packers are my team,
Mm-hmm.
and the Lions fairly beat them. I mean, the Packers were terrible
How
this
do you
year.
like both of those teams?
I don't like the Lions.
Oh,
No.
I was so lost.
We are 100% Packer fans. It was just a
So
sad day
how do you and Nigel get along?
because he
Just
also secretly loves the Lions. I mean, the Packers.
He loves the Lions.
He loves the Lions, but if the Lions are out, he'll cheer for the Packers.
I'm just teasing.
I won't.
She hits me.
I won't vote for the Lions, but
We're Bears fans, so
yeah. Well, we
got last place.
You get sad every year.
It was a rough year.
I'm a Raiders guy now, just by default.
So we also Raiders. So we kind of go Packers and then Raiders are our second team. We've got season tickets because we're in Vegas a lot.
Yeah.
And really Devontae Adams, he's my
Yeah.
guy.
He is. I wish someone could throw to him. That
Oh,
would be awesome.
well, Rogers can't throw to anybody. I don't even know if he could throw to him this year. So,
He had too big of an ayahuasca trip or whatever. he
right?
said.
Yeah, a few too many mushrooms.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Rogers needs to get off the shrooms.
Well, other than Super Bowl predictions, do you have predictions and opportunities for this market coming up here?
I think there's huge opportunity, but I think you have to work really hard.
Right.
I think you have to know what you're doing. I think you have to be smart and look smart and feel smart and be educated. I mean, I think the opportunities are huge because 2022 knocked out a ton of agents because it was hard
Mm-hmm.
and it shifted really fast. It was great, January to like May, June, you're like, all right. And then, August rolls around, you're like, what just happened?
Right.
I mean, it shifted so fast. We had our very best month for closings in July. But yeah, then like August, September,
He's dead.
it was crazy.
Okay.
So you have to be able to completely shift with the times
Mm-hmm.
because it happens very fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you got to just have your ducks in a row and know what you're doing, which leads me back to you have to have a mentor. If you're fresh out of real estate school, you have to, whatever brokerage you go to, wherever you go, you have to have a mentor.
Right.
You can't do it. It's too hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Even for myself, I'm newer to the real estate industry, and my mentor really guided me through
Yeah.
everything. So it's real. You need a mentor to lean on.
And as a brand new agent, you're really just trying to get your name out there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell everybody that you know, and they know that, hey, I'm an agent now.
Right.
So you're busting your butt, or you should be, getting out there and marketing yourself. But you still have to know how to do all the paperwork and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
I don't think it really is known how much work you guys do.
Yeah.
You guys have the paperwork, the clients, the showings, once you're under contract, everything that you've got to be
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys
And
are.
staying educated on the market, you have to have a pulse on it. It's
Yeah.
impressive.
It is super impressive. I feel like you guys are underpaid, honestly. Yeah, I think it's I
and
would
they
never,
all said hallelujah.
I would never want to be an agent.
Yeah.
I don't work hard enough at all. So
Well, and that's, even when I'm super busy, I just don't feel like I'm working,
Mhm.
like I'm not killing myself, but I think it's because I've been doing it so long.
Right.
And it really is more like I can do the paperwork and I can do all of that, but for me, it's making sure my client is where they are and they understand the process, and it's just keeping that communication open so it goes smoothly if everybody knows where we are
cool,
every time.
cool.
Yeah.
So a good team as well around
Mhm.
you.
Yeah.
Cool, really cool. I got one more game.
Okay.
It's basically just three. I just have three questions.
Okay.
Okay, it's gonna be this or that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, mountains or beaches?
Mountains. I didn't know there was a right
I guess you
answer.
picked the wrong answer.
All right.
No, listen, beaches are
Whatever.
great, but sand gets everywhere. It's hot, and
Mhm.
there's sharks. There are no sharks in the mountains.
That's true. And
No, there's bears
lakes in the
and
mountains
cougars
too.
and-
There are also
Like-
lakes.
Yeah.
Are you?
Bears and cougars? What mountains are you in? Where are you?
Most of my adulthood, I was in Las Vegas, so we had lots of.
So
mountain
there's
lions.
lots of bears down there.
No, but there was lots of mountain
It is
lions.
bear country.
Lots of mountain lions.
Hmm,
Yeah, not in Las Vegas, but like in Nevada.
okay.
Well, let's
Either
see.
way, like, come on. All right. Obviously, on beaches. What about,
what?
what about
Weird.
you?
I would pick mountains, but if you said lakes, I would pick lakes. Just to throw that in there.
But you can be in the mountains and have a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be at the ocean and have a lake.
Mm-hmm.
No, but
And it's all
still,
salty and there's stuff that bites you and eats you. I'm good.
so
Stings you.
warm.
Yeah.
Warm.
Too hot.
Uh,
I'm sweating right now.
There's hurricanes.
Is it hot?
It's totally
It
me.
gets hot in here
It
though.
does, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
for our animal lovers,
Okay.
cats or dogs?
Dogs, 100%.
Do you have any animals?
I have a horse.
You have a horse?
We're dog people, but he
But
passed
you have a
away.
horse.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
he passed.
sorry.
No, we had him 13 years. He was
Yeah.
amazing. And then the kids left, so we were completely empty nesters, right? So we're like, we don't want a dog because then you got to feed the dog.
Mhm.
So, but I have a horse, but I board him, so I don't also have to feed him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing.
My family has a boarding up in Taylor. But anyway, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the horse's name?
Cooper,
Aw.
Cooper.
Yeah.
I like that.
he's amazing.
Driving or flying
Flying.
all day.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where it's to.
Mm,
Like Las Vegas.
flying.
Flying.
I could drive in 7 hours,
Yeah.
but why would I when I can fly in an hour?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And her husband is a pilot, so makes it.
Well, it's
Whoa.
not as glamorous as it sounds.
Do you fly yourself?
No,
Oh.
no, he works for Southwest. He flies. Did you fly over Christmas? I'm so sorry. Listen, my husband was working over Christmas. He did not make it home for Christmas
Are
either.
you kidding me?
No.
Do you have a favorite vacation spot?
Mm. I mean, we've been to Hawaii several times, which I love. Mexico's amazing.
Mhm.
Beachy,
Yeah.
but that's because I live in the mountains. So
Yeah.
I
Right.
go to,
That makes sense.
change of scenery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Margaritas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are those?
Mm.
You'll learn one day.
No, when I
A bunch of ears just caught fire.
Right? I'll grow up one day. That's
They're really
awesome.
good. You should try them.
You have been such a good sport.
Oh,
And-
thanks. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining
Heck
us.
yeah.
Yeah,
This was way fun.
you're incredible.
Thank you.
So keep killing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, one more time, YouTube is
Living in northern Utah.
living in northern Utah. Do you want Instagram, TikTok?
Instagram is at C4 Cells Utah.
C4 Cells Utah. Perfect.
TikTok I'm working on.
Okay. Don't rush it.
No. And then Facebook is probably also, it's either the C4 Real Estate Team or C4 Cells Utah.
Okay.
Perfect.
And
I
we'll-
try to do them all the same.
And we'll obviously have it all down in the comments and
Thank you.
make
Mhm.
sure that it's very well known.
Alrighty, well, let's call this deal closed. Thank you so much for joining us. We really
Love it.
appreciate it.
Thank you guys. This
Thank
was
you.
awesome.
You're wonderful.
Way fun.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks.
you.
Thanks.
Uh,
I wasn't expecting the handshake, Bryce. That made me uncomfortable.